What's up, guys? Welcome back to Healthy Recipe. I'm going to be bringing you a really simple, delicious quinoa recipe today. Quinoa is a really healthy grain. It's pretty simple to make. You can get it fairly cheap now. I actually bought a 10-pound bag of quinoa in bulk off of Amazon, and I paid, I think, under $25. So pretty fair price now. It's not as expensive as it used to be. Really good for you. It's got a lot of nutrients, vitamins, minerals, also protein and fiber. So I'm going to show you guys a really simple way to make it with just a few ingredients. It's kind of playing off of some Spanish flavors. It's going to be really delicious, so let's get right to work. Alright guys, so as I promised, nothing crazy or super complicated. These are all pretty simple ingredients we're using. So I got this is about a cup of minced organic tomatoes. I have about 2 cups of organic chickpeas. These are canned. They're actually made by Great Value, which I believe is a Walmart brand. They're actually making a whole bunch of organic products now, which I find is really great because they're very affordably priced. I have about 3 cloves of minced garlic, fresh. I'm using, these are our capers. I am also using some capers to give it a little bit of saltiness and that nice briny flavor that I think will go so well with the other smoky flavors we're incorporating. I'm using a smoked paprika, and this one is Spanish hot smoked paprika. So it's got some spice in there. I believe they use something like maybe like cayenne type of peppers that are pretty hot. This is pretty spicy, smoky, really nice flavor. Salt, of course. I got a cup and a half of organic quinoa. Like I said, I bought this stuff in a 10-pound bag. I use it a lot just because it's really healthy and I love it in many recipes. Using cumin, about 2 cups of organic homemade vegetable broth. These are all like from veggies all from my garden. I'm also using some organic extra virgin olive oil. So basically, first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our garlic over in the pan, and we're going to start cooking that off, and we'll add ingredients from there. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is preheat our pan on high, then add about a tablespoon or so of extra virgin olive oil. Gonna let that heat up for a second. Okay, once you start getting the aroma from the olive oil heating up, then we're just going to add in a little bit of garlic. Once we get that pretty hot, now we're going to add our quinoa, and we're just going to kind of toast it a little bit and infuse it with some of that olive oil and garlic flavor first. Want to kind of toast it a little bit. And some people don't do this. You don't necessarily have to do this step if you just cook it directly, but I feel that toasting the quinoa like this adds like an extra flavor profile, like a nutty kind of like roasted flavor that it brings out in the quinoa. That makes it taste really a bit nicer, I think. Once you start getting a little bit of that aroma from the quinoa that is different, then we're going to start adding more ingredients. We're going to add our capers. And it's about a tablespoon or so of capers. I'm going to add the chickpeas. And mix them in. Then I'm going to go ahead and add my tomato. little bit. So now I'm going to add about a half a teaspoon of cumin. Also about a teaspoon of smoked paprika. Yeah, and I love this stuff. You can use regular smoked paprika, you don't have to use the spicy one, but this is really good. Now I'm going to go ahead and add our vegetable broth. And at first I'm just going to add a little bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and add more in, kind of like if I was making a risotto. Just going to stir all of that in. And we're going to cook that down a little bit for about 5 minutes or so. Then we're going to bring down the heat a little bit. Once we get it to a boil, we're going to bring it down to medium heat, 275 or so. And then we're going to let it absorb some of that vegetable broth. And then we're going to add some more. So I'm going to let that cook down a bit, and I'll bring you guys back in. Alright guys, you can see here the liquid has cooked down quite a bit, and the quinoa grains have kind of gotten a little bit swollen. They're getting bigger. So now we're going to go ahead and add the rest of our broth in. And just let it completely absorb it. And then we'll come back and add salt to taste. So we're going to let that liquid cook down as the quinoa expands, and should be ready in another 10 to 15 minutes, cooking on medium heat. Alright guys, so here it is. The quinoa is done. Basically, I had some really nice Roma tomatoes on hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of those over it for aesthetics and to freshen it up a little bit, to give it some of that nice tomato fresh taste, and to make it a little bit fresher tasting. I'm also going to go ahead and add some organic olive oil. I'm just going to drizzle a little bit over the top there, and finish it off with some Himalayan sea salt to finish that olive oil taste with the tomato. It's almost like a salad over quinoa. This is going to be really, really delicious. Well, I already know it's delicious. I tasted it. I hope you guys really enjoyed the recipe. Give us a thumbs up if you did. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys really soon on the next one. Alright guys, so here's the moment of truth. I'm going to go ahead and try this beautiful recipe. I've already tasted it for salt, so I know it's really good. I'm just going to describe you guys what I'm getting here as far as flavor notes. And actually it has the fresh tomato and olive oil drizzle and salt over it added now. Quinoa is quickly becoming one of my favorite grains to eat, even better than barley, and I'm a huge fan of barley. But this is really, really amazing. I'm getting the flavor of the smoked paprika in here, and overall some smoky notes. The capers was a really, really nice addition. It brings on its own totally different flavor profile. Is briny and add a nice little bite of flavor. Really, really good, nice ingredient to add. I will probably be using it more often from now on. I actually used to not really like capers, but for some reason lately, I guess my taste has changed, and I really, really love them. The fresh tomato was a killer addition. along with the olive oil drizzled over the top. It's almost like you're getting your quinoa with a fresh salad kind of mixed in. It's really, really delicious. Guys, give quinoa a try if you haven't already. This recipe is simple enough that any of you guys can make it in just a few minutes.